the first time it said that.
Right, brilliant. Thanks for coming along and joining us. So the first thing I need to say is that this session is being recorded. So if you don't want to be uploaded onto the YouTube channel, then perhaps switch your video off. This session is part of the 2021 Celebrate Festival, and we're going through the art pack that was provided, and we're just taking a look at what you can do with the contents of that pack. And obviously you'll probably have brushes and colouring pencils and lots of other nice things, but I'm going to be looking at activities that you can do with what is in the pack. So the first thing that was given, what was in the pack, were these lovely mandala colouring things. So I've started colouring this one in. Now the pack doesn't come with any brushes, or it does come with some, this was the pack, by the way. So it does come with some pencils and possibly some pens. I just got some pencils. So what we did get to use was these eco sponges. Now I've cut my eco sponge in two, because you can see I've already used this. I've used the corners of mine. That's essentially my brushes. So if you're going to do that, take care with your scissors, but it was very easy for me to cut it in two. And then the next thing that everybody got was this lovely set of watercolor paints, as it just drops everywhere. And I've put mine out into one of these trays, but just find an old plate or a few sheets of newspaper, and you can just put your paints onto that. So I'm going to share my screen now, because I'm going to show you how I kind of work with these sponges. I must admit, I have never kind of painted with sponges before, and I was actually really surprised at I thought it was quite effective. I got a better result than I imagined that I would do. So just give me a minute, and I'm just gonna share my screen. That works. Share screen. So hopefully you'll be able to see what I can see. Oops, that's not it. What can you see? What can you see?
Screen. We can see your home screen of your your phone.
Hold on. Camera. Right. Hopefully you'll be able to see.
Yeah. Yeah, we can see your mandala now.
Great. Okay, let's put all that away as well. Oh, it's telling me my internet connection's unstable, and I've just plugged my Ethernet cable in. That's no good. So I'm going to continue with this red, and I've got my corner of my sponge that I've already been using. So I just wanted to show you, so you can watch, so you might think, oh, that's impossible, what's she talking about? But I was able to get my sponge into these corners, and obviously you do have to wet the sponge. I don't know if anyone's seen, but the sponge, when you take it out, is it's rock hard, isn't it? So you need to, and very dry, so you need to wet it. So this is very lightly damp as I use it, but not, I wouldn't say very wet at all. So yeah, just get yourself into those edges, using it lightly. I'm not going to do the whole way around this, because you don't need to sit and watch me colouring it in. I just wanted to show you that it is possible to do that. And I'm using more of an up and down motion, but you could just, you know, use it back and forward like that a bit as well. So if I was gonna, I'm gonna continue, I'm gonna change my color, and I'm gonna do green in this part here. And I wouldn't try and do two separate colors in here. I'm probably gonna do a light blue just all over that. in the same way that I have here, and with the yellow, and the black lines just come through anyway. So let's have a look. Where's my blue corner of my sponge? And you do need some, I would get some newspaper or some newsprint down on your desk just to make sure the paint doesn't go everywhere. So let's try and get some blue in here. And obviously, if you have brushes, this will all be, you know, so much easier for you, and you'll probably get a kind of cleaner edge than I'm getting. But I was surprised. I thought it would be an awful lot more clunky in a way than it was. So I think that's that. Oh, sorry. Oh my God, how do I make that go away? Right, so I'm not going to do all the whole way around this again. I'm going to just do this next one. Okay, so you can see, whoops, don't have to go too far. Yeah, and with this one, which is an awful lot more detailed, I would just keep to really block colors. So one color around there, one color here, and probably the same. Well, you could see how far out you can bring it. That's if you're using the sponge. Obviously, if you've got brushes, you can really take your time. If you've got felt tip pens, that one will look amazing. And there's one more. Have I got it here? Yeah, this one here. So this would be much trickier with the sponge because there aren't really, well, to my mind, there aren't solid chunky areas in there to fill in. So I probably would avoid that one. That's just too, these lines are just much thinner than the edge of the sponge is going to be. So that's a very quick look at your colouring in sheets. Some people will have also been given a colouring in book. I know there were some mandala books, but I don't know if everyone has one of those. I don't have one of those, so I can't talk about them, but yeah, they need to be on the chunky side really for you to use your sponge. Otherwise, yeah, it's definitely brushes. I'm going to put those to one side for now. And then the next thing that was in the pack, these are fab, are these stencils. So these are great. And I don't really use personally stencils very much, but I thought these were really effective. So I want to show you what I was playing around with earlier. Like, I thought that it would be a really nice idea to have a go at making what could be a sheet of wrapping paper. So if I hold this up on this screen, can you see on my, can you only see what's on my, Natalie, what can you see?
I can see your I can see the mandala, not mandalas.
I think you can kind of swap in and out though if you tap each screen.
Oh,
so
right.
I've just tapped back and I've come back to you, but if I think I tap again, then it goes back to.
Okay, well, this is it's not a full sheet of wrapping paper, but I'm trying to give the effect of that. So I've used, well, you can tell that one is this one, more or less. There, if I can get it lined up, there we go. And that one is this one. So I wanted to do a couple more and just show you, and I did these with the sponges. I thought they're great. Like, I really liked them. I also thought these would look really great, you know, if you had just did one and cut it out and it was on the front of a greeting card. Like, how nice would that be for a birthday card for somebody? I wanted to show you really how I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 colors in there. And then I thought maybe that's a few too many. So I just pulled it back to 3 here. And this is 3 colors on this one. So a lighter blue, a darker blue, and the purple on the outside. So I thought we'll have a quick look and I'll show you how I have created those. So again, using my sponge. So this is where it really helps, because if you've cut it down, you could, you know, I contemplated cutting that down. Oh, I think I've just frozen there, have I? I can see that I've just frozen.
Yeah,
so
your hands are frozen.
Hold on a minute and I'll just go back to me. Oh no. Sorry.
There you go.
Back. So yeah, I contemplated cutting this sponge in half again, but I think this is just a nice, useful size to work with. So I'm going to just do what I did here and start with the yellow on the inside. Let me see. Yeah, if I put that, wait 1 minute, let's pull that back. Yeah, you'll be able to see.
Perfect.
The trickiest bit, I think, not tricky, but you really don't want this to move. Once you start, you don't really need this wobbling about. So that's what I find probably the biggest challenge, was making sure that didn't rock around everywhere. So I'm going to start with my yellow. Oh dear, I think my yellow's dried up now. Yeah, hang on a second. I need a bit more yellow paint. Yeah, trying to make sure that doesn't move. So I wanted the effect of these colors blending. So I went a little bit outside this inside circle, like I went a little bit into these leaves, which I'm going to do again, just a tiny bit over the edge, because I think it will feel like they're blending a bit more if I do that. So just keep dabbing away, up and down motion. And then I'm going to switch to my orange. And again, very carefully trying not to shake the paper about or shake the thing. And then I'm not going to start right on this inside. I'm going to just come out a bit where I want my orange to be. And I'm going to go the whole way around, and I'm trying to not let the orange touch the yellow at this point, because if they start blending together too early, you know, it just turns a bit, it can turn a bit sort of sludgy too quickly. So I'm trying to stay away from going right into the yellow just yet. And then once I'm happy, I can go over it where the yellow is. I hope that makes sense. And then my red. So into the tips of those leaves and a little bit over the next bit. So I think like it's pretty quick as well to do this. And then I'm going to switch, and I used green the last time, but I think, yeah, I've still left myself. You need to be mindful of how much room you've left yourself, really, because it can fill up quicker than you think. So I'm going to get some green in, do a circle. And then blue. So find my lighter blue first. I was really impressed with these watercolor paints. I thought that the density of the color was really good, because when you use actual watercolors, there's a lot more opacity to them. You can see through the color, whereas these colors are really dense and strong. So they're perfect for this. So you can see that's really building up nicely. So you'll be doing this all over all your furniture before you know it. You're doing the whole house.
And did you find the templates easy to clean afterwards to be able to reuse them?
Yes, they're really easy. You could just wipe this off, but I just took it to the sink next door, and yeah, straight under the tap, and it was straight off, no problem. So yeah, really great. However, what I would say is you probably don't want to find yourself doing, you know, loads of, you want to just settle on a design, really, an idea, I think, and do a few rather than continually finding yourself washing it out all the time.
Yeah.
So I did get myself an old cloth, an old tea towel, so I could have it to hand for drying them off.
Ah.
So yeah, just making sure it doesn't slip where possible. So this is my dark blue now, and then I'm going to finish off with the purple on the outside. And purple. So let me just show you what I mean, what I'm talking about. So when I haven't got enough room space. So when you stick the end of the sponge in, you're going to have a big blob of paint on there. So I'm just trying to dab some of it off on this surface so that it's not one big blob hitting my paper. I hope that makes sense. So just take some of it away before
Alison,
you put it.
Your hands are frozen again.
Oh, okay. Okay, just give me a second.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay, and so you just want to just fill this up. And obviously, if you're really taking care, I can see I've gone a bit over the edges of the stencil, and you probably don't want to, you want to try to avoid that if you can, but sometimes it's trickier, easier said than done. So I hope you can see, like, I'm not being too precious about blending out the colors, other than with those lighter ones, I don't want to bury, you know, I don't want to bury them any more than I can help. But when you get out to the darker ones, you just, you know, you don't need to be super careful about it. Like it's quite takes a lot, you know, it's quite easy going in a way, this technique. Okay, so I think that's me pretty much done with this one. I could go round and fill it all up a bit more, but I'll make that do. And then this is the magic bit, isn't it? When you get to peel it off, this is the lovely part. Off it comes. And there we go.
Wow, that's beautiful.
It's great, isn't it? I think it's really, really, really effective for a sponge and some watercolor paints. And then I thought to myself, right, I've got this and it's covered in paint. I'm going to see what happens if I put it face down this way and just take like a print off it.
Oh, nice.
So, well, it didn't work fabulously well the last time, but I think it's interesting to play, you know, that's what we're really doing, is we're just going to play with these things, aren't we, and see what happens. So I'm going to take a print of this and peel that up. Oh no, this one's worked better than the last one. So yeah, it's not amazing, but let me show you what I'm going to do next. So I don't know if can you see this one here in the middle?
Yeah.
So can you see the yellow bits there?
Yeah.
The yellow bits and the orange bits is, so that's this one here, and I flipped it over, and then I put the different stencil over the top, so the yellow has come through, and I thought, oh, that's interesting, I could definitely explore that idea. So I'm getting different colors coming through, so where anywhere that's going to be white, I'm getting different colors coming through, and that's quite interesting. So I might try that with this one that I've just done that with. So I've got my fresh kind of print here, and I'm going to get my next stencil, which is this one, and lay it over the top and have a little think. Maybe I'll do, what should I do? A lighter color seems to jump out at me, I'm not sure why. So this, meanwhile, here's my wet one. So it would, oh, actually, maybe because I've taken the print, it probably won't wipe off. But yeah, that will just wash off in 2 seconds under the tap with some water. Okay, so I did light blue working out to purple before. So I'm just thinking, what shall I do to, because what I want is the contrast, I suppose, of anywhere that's got a darker color underneath. I now want a lighter color maybe to come outside it. So let me do a lighter blue on the outside. We're just playing with it, by the way. I'm just like completely off the top of my head here, seeing what it would look like, because that for me is the real fun of working as an artist and being an artist, is just going, oh, let's see what that would do if we did this, and then going with that. And you can just find really interesting ways of working when you do that. So that's what I would really encourage you to do. You could make your own stencils, by the way. I was thinking, I'm a real big fan of the cardboard that cereal boxes come in. That is just a really nice quality of cardboard that's strong enough, but it's flexible enough. So you could make your own stencils very easily and have loads of fun. Now, of course, the difference is the cardboard one won't have tons of longevity, but it's totally usable if you had like a big idea that you suddenly wanted to see what it would look like, you know, you could totally play with it. I'm going to do yellow next, see what that looks like. And again, because I'm mixing yellow and blue and I don't want it to end up green too quickly, I'm going to try and stay away from the deepest areas of the blue for as long as I can manage it, and then blend them at the end. Okay, so now I'll go out and I don't know if you'll be able to see, but I can see it's starting to turn into green.
Yeah, it's showing through.
Which is great, because that's just a nice extra color that I wasn't thinking I would have. So yeah, if you're clever, actually, you'll think about that, your color mixing. What extra color can you get from mixing 2 colors? And then what will we do for the last one? Oh, let's go orange in the middle. Oh, I think I need a little bit more orange paint. What will happen if I mix orange and yellow? Will I get red? I think I will, won't I? Maybe not.
Alison, your hands are frozen again, I'm afraid.
Okay, that's all right. Let me just do that. Swap it round. Okay,
Perfect.
A little bit more orange paint. And I want to even that up so my orange circle feels balanced. Okay, so now the big reveal. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, I've lost some of my lines. I think I've put too much paint on actually, or for some of those.
But the corners look fab with the other template on the top or underneath them as it is. It looks brilliant.
Yeah, I think it's a really interesting idea to play with, but I think where some of that yellow is, I've put too much paint on. I can see, so I needed to dab that back more on my tray before I put it out on the stencil. But not to worry, that's what we're playing with. I hope that will give you some good ideas for you know, how you can use your stencils, because they're just really great. So that could be a sheet of wrapping paper. To me, it would be just such a lovely greeting card, some of these chopped up. If it went a little bit wrong, you could also have great fun cutting these up so that they could become pieces of another collage. So like, for example, I could cut some leaf shapes out of here, and that could be the leaf of another flower, very easily. So I'll put that to one side, and then let's move on. So next of all, we had these lovely gold and silver stamp pads. So that got me thinking about potato printing, which is something, you know, everyone says, oh, I haven't done potato printing since school. So I'm going to show you some things I was playing with earlier on. So here are some examples of very simple potato prints. So this is the same design, obviously the black, but on this one I've done a background layer underneath, and I've done that before I've cut into the potato. So I've cut the potato in half. You cut it in half, you need to dab off all the moisture like so. Leave it for 5 or 10 minutes until it's, you know, visibly not, the starch has come off it. And then you could just, before you even cut into any of it, you can just use your watercolor paints. So you would use them like so. Let's get that orange, and I'll do another one to show you. Just dab on your watercolors using your sponge. And let me find, where's my little bits of paper gone? And then you would just put that down, press down, and hopefully you're going to get a nice orange blob. So I did that. I've cut this one now, but I did that with both sides of this potato in yellow and orange before I even cut my design. So it's like getting a little background texture, you know, before you've even started. So this is the one I was working on earlier. So here's my orange and yellow that I've been doing. And then I took my potato, because you know, we haven't got the time for everyone to sit through me doing all of this. So I just cut this little star shape out. And I was using my light blue ink. So I'll keep going with that because I wanted to finish this one off. Oops, need to put more light blue out. Let me just do that. So again, get your sponge and I'm just going to dab it all over. You can use brushes for this as well, but I've discovered a sponge is brilliant because you know, you get more coverage really. And then put that down, press down, and hopefully you're going to get a nice print. Now, you can see my paper here. I really personally like to take patterns off the edge. So I've put one lot of paint on that, and I think I'll probably get maybe 3 prints off that one. Yeah, I'm happy with that. And then I'm going to come back and do another round. And obviously, if you had, if with your other half of potato you had a different pattern, you could be staggering them, really playing about with it. I think that getting a little background color is a really good place to start, but it's up to you. You might just, you know, you could just do this one. We'll do this one on its own in a minute and kind of see what it looks like as well. So again, you could, I think what's brilliant about these is, about potato printing, is getting to see what an idea would look like fairly easily before you, I don't know, sit down and do it digitally, or, you know, spend some time doing it in a different fancy format like lino printing, for example. This is a really good way to just have an idea what a pattern would look like quickly. So that's 2, so let's see, yeah, three prints off that one, possibly even 4. Yeah, why not? And one last one, because I want to fill that little bottom corner, bottom edge. Get one in there, and I'm done. So yeah, is that a crazy birthday card cover for a friend? Is it? Oh, I've just frozen, but you can see what I mean. Am I back? Yes, I'm back. So that's one example of potato printing. Here are a couple more. So that's a green one. Again, I cut a very, very simple design out of this. This particular one was cut using a spoon, a teaspoon rather, so that we just weren't using any sharp knives at all. This one I think is very pretty. Again, very simple design, cut. So the pink is one potato, and sorry, the purple is like one potato, and the pink is another one that I've popped in, come back in and popped that in over the top. I think that's really effective for a very simple idea. But we have got our gold and silver, so let's try them and see how they come out. Now, I'm not quite sure how they'll work, but let's have a go. I'm going to wipe a bit of my blue off this potato if I can. It might not work too well, but let's have a go. So this is the silver ink pad that comes in your pack. So just press down, and I can see that I've got the silver ink has gone on there. So let's see what that looks like. Can you see that? Maybe it's a bit faint, I don't know. Who knows, but we'll have a go and see.
Yeah, if you tilt it slightly, so the light is, so the print is in the shade, just the other way. So no, come down, the top end, come down, and your left hand side come up.
Up. Is that?
Yeah, that's
better then.
Possibly.
Okay. Well, let's maybe have a go with the gold. So these, I think, would be nice accents perhaps over the top. I don't know if they're strong enough to maybe be on their own right. It just kind of depends, I suppose, on the
I think though it would really look lovely, like you say, if you did a print of a background colour or a background print and then did the gold and the silver on top of it. That would look really good.
Yeah, would work really well as kind of an accent.
Yeah,
for me. So yeah, it's definitely shimmering.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's our gold and silver stamp pads.
And you get quite a few stamps as well out of one push of the ink.
You can do. I've just been doing one stamp here with this, but with those watercolor paints in your set, because they are so, the color is so dense, I noticed I was getting 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Whereas I've done this technique when I've used it. This is normal watercolor paint, so I don't know if you can see, but kind of, like, there's a lot of water that's gone into this to actually loosen the little paint pans up.
Yeah.
So there's no way I'd get 2 or 3. You can see how this one, for example, is much lighter. I wouldn't get more than 2 off of this, but I was getting 3 quite easily off this one earlier.
Yeah.
So yes, that's definitely what I would experiment with, is your watercolor, using your watercolor backgrounds and maybe some gold accents. And yeah, you could use, you know, maybe people have some of their own stamps at home that they could try as well, like you know, nice little wooden stamps that sometimes people have in their sets. That would be really interesting.
I think some of the packs did have little wooden stamps in them.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't have one of those. So right, okay, so there was a couple of other bits that I wanted to show people. So another thing that I wanted to show you that you could do with these watercolors is staying on this kind of mandala theme. This is a piece I worked on before. So I have made just watercolor circles like you can see here. So I haven't got, oh goodness, how do I put it so you can see the whole thing? So I haven't got, you know, this all finished, but you're just going to fill your page up with different colors, different sizes of circles using your watercolor paints. Let it dry, and then you can come over the top. You can use like a felt tip. I think that's like more of a chunky felt tip.
Yeah.
You're just going to make really simple marks. Don't make them complicated. So you pick one simple mark and then just repeat it and repeat it. And then another simple mark on the inside. And you're just going to go round and fill up a page of mandalas like this. And the idea with these is it's just so relaxing to do. It's meant to be like meditative, and yeah, I really enjoy making.
And the bonus is you get a really lovely piece of artwork out of it as well.
You do, because I think that's, well, I really like it. It's colourful, bright, it's interesting, there's plenty to look at. But the marks themselves are quite simple. And if you've got the mandala colouring book, I imagine that would be quite inspiring in terms of different patterns that you could, different patterns you could use or you could look at, or little different marks that you could make, or you could refer to the colouring sheets that we looked at right at the start. So, and then another fun idea, one I really like, is this one where you just use like a large paintbrush. Where's my big paintbrush? So I think I used a paintbrush like this, and I just made kind of, you know, funny blobs. Just like, don't worry about it. Just make blobs on the page and then let it dry and come over it. Oh, I've frozen again. But you can see what I'm talking about. So I'll just describe it anyway. So just get a fine liner, a black fine liner pen or a biro or any kind of marker, and turn them into something. So I made a little ghost, and I made a bouquet of flowers, and obviously a flower, a teapot, I've made a little bird up here, and then this is some sort of monstery thing. So you can just have, it's a really interesting exercise for letting your brain, like, don't overthink it. Just do something, just do the first thing that shape makes you think of. And I really enjoy this little exercise.
I love the bouquet of flowers and the teapot. They're my favourite.
Oh, okay. Let me just come back to where we are. Yeah, so very just cute, just fun, and yeah, easy to do. And it's interesting, set yourself a little challenge, like how many different things can I do?
Yeah.
So yeah, what else? So obviously you've also got in your art packs, you've got this lovely big bag of chalks. Now obviously these are really designed for going out on the pavement, so I can't go out on the pavement and show you anything, but don't forget about your chalks. I'm looking forward to walking around Whalley Range and seeing what everyone has been making. Yeah, so these are great. 2, 4, 6, 8. Well, I've got 9 in my pack, which is a really good selection of colours. So yeah, please make sure you get out and decorate your pavement outside with those. And what else did I want to say? Yeah, I think that's pretty much it in terms of the artwork that we wanted to go through. There are a few other things, like I've got this gorgeous sparkly notebook, which is just lovely. So I can use that as my sketchbook. I could keep all my creative ideas in here. I could keep all my thoughts about the festival in here. So I think that's pretty much what I've got in my art pack. There is also the Whalley Range Wanderer. I might stop my screen share now because I think that I'm done with that.
I think, Victoria, were you showing us your sparkly notebook then?
Was, yeah.
It's mine.
It's yours, is it? Fantastic.
Isn't it so gorgeous? It's just so lovely.
While we've been listening to all your ideas, we've used the watercolours to actually paint something.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
That's amazing.
You see?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, you've done the stencil right on the window.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Yeah, so that one's
Good for
dried
you.
already. So I think that's been really effective.
Yeah.
And yeah.
That's great. I'm definitely coming to have a look at your window.
Uh-huh.
It's
So
ace.
Nice way to spend the evening. So thank you for sharing all those ideas, because we've been listening and looking in while we've been doing our window.
Brilliant. Okay.
She knows that.
What road are you on, Victoria? And we'll make sure we come round.
Oh, we're on Burford Drive, so come in.
Perfect. Right. Okay, we'll definitely come and have a look.
Definitely.
So, yeah, the last thing I wanted to just mention was the Whalley Range Wanderer, which is the envelope in your pack, which is there's full instructions in there, so I won't go through it all, but basically you making a piece of art, posting it through your neighbour's door, and if they want to respond, then they can drop something in to generate. That's the gist of it, Natalie, isn't that right?
Absolutely.
They can drop something in to generate, and generate will organise getting a reply back to you, basically.
Yeah.
So I think that's isn't that a lovely community idea?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's everything from our art packs. I think that's everything. Of course, as soon as we end, I'll think, oh yeah, I meant to show you such and such, but I think that's everything. Oh yeah. Oh, there is one more thing. There's one more thing I want to show you. I'll hold it up though. So this is at the end because you do need something that we don't have in our art packs. So this is wax resist, which is a lovely technique. So where you see the white, that is oil pastels or white wax crayons, and it has to be wax or it has to be oil pastels, because this is a resist technique, and then we've painted over it with watercolors. So that's why I'm mentioning it, because you've got watercolor paints in your set. And the trickiest thing about this is seeing what you've drawn before you put the paints on. So I'm always going up to the window, you know, what if where's my piece? So I would say have a clear idea what you want to draw. And the other thing is make these lines really solid. When I do this, it's not like an intricate technique, it's quite chunky. You want to get those lines solid, because if you don't do that, the watercolor paint just bleeds into the white. So that white needs to be really strong and solid. But I think the effects are lovely. Those two are very similar. I don't know why I've got two so similar. I was practicing. Yeah, and obviously I've just gone for this mandala effect again. But I think it's a really lovely thing to do. Did I have another one? Another flower. Yeah, so I just thought I'd show you that. And then last but not least, using your sponge, you could also create a selection of like background textures. Now, yeah, so background textures, so you could get your potato prints and print over these. You could cut these up and just make collage pieces out of them. So that's another one I was working on before. So again, I've just gone for a circular background, and then I'm going to make one giant mandala out of that, but I'm just starting on it. So use your sponge. I mean, sponges are so perfect for this. That one,
we had no idea what they were, but they're just they've just sort of come to life, and they're great little things.
Yeah, did you hear me saying I cut mine in two?
Yeah, we've cut it. We heard you. We put it in.
Yeah, because it just you've got more corners to work with. If you do that.
No, it's really handy. Yeah, we've used these, and we've used the corner techniques. We've got an orange corner and a red corner.
Brilliant.
Oh, excellent.
Okay, that's really great.
Oh, thank you. No, thank you for it's loads of great ideas.
Oh, fantastic. Okay.
Victoria, will you take a picture when it's finished and post it on the Facebook page for us?
I'm not on Facebook, but
okay,
on Instagram.
Okay, brilliant. Yeah, that'd be fantastic. Yeah. We've got an Instagram page as well. That would be wonderful.
Yeah,
and then people will be able to go, oh, I've seen that house, and it looks great.
Yeah, we'll do. Definitely.
Fantastic.
Oh, well, thank you very much for
welcome.
Do you want to say a little bit about tomorrow evening's session?
Yes.
Because that might be something that you'd like to join in with as well.
Yes, Victoria, I don't know if you're interested, but tomorrow night we're making these book paper flowers. So I think
you might have shared this on the WhatsApp group because they are fantastic.
Oh, did you see? Oh, yeah, sorry, are you on the PT? Yeah, so we'll be making, basically, we won't be making all these styles. We'll make one, and we'll make this one.
Yeah.
Which is this one's looking a little bit tired because it's my demo one that I take out to loads of workshops with me, so it gets bashed about in my bag. But they're gorgeous, and once you know how to do it, they're really easy to make. And I've had people saying to me, oh, I've just made bouquets for everybody, and so I've made a bouquet of these for my mum for Mother's Day kind of thing, and they're everlasting flowers. She still has them.
Last forever.
Yeah, so we're going to make them probably just with the plain, like, so with these I've painted them, but it's faded now because these have sat in the sun and been dragged about everywhere. But we'll use our watercolors to have, or I'll have an example to buy tomorrow of ones painted with the watercolor paints, but we'll learn how to make these. So that's tomorrow evening at 6.
Okay, cool.
If you're free and you're interested.
Yeah, I'll see how the evening pans out.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, well, thank you very much. I appreciate coming along, and I hope anyone who's watching this will enjoy the video and get lots from it.
Thanks very much.
All right,
Thank you.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.